What's going on, folks? Fugazi TV, my no black checking in. If you haven't noticed or haven't read about it, there's been a dust up with your boy Kanye West and Pete Davidson. If you know the story, Pete Davidson is dating Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian was once married to Kanye West, and they have 4 children. Now, from the outside looking in, it seems like, Kanye has been just being a hater or just being mad because Kim and Pete are together now. I think Kanye is already on his second girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken. So it seemed like he's been able to move on, but he still, throws shots at Pete and Kim. And then recently, today, he actually went a little deeper into explaining why he's been so hostile to Pete. And being a father myself, I kind of understand where he's coming from, because one of my things as a father is I didn't want to go out there slinging iron and and having kids all over the place, because if I have a child here in Miami, a child here in Broward, a child here in Orlando, and one in New York. Well, if something happened to the one in New York, I'm all the way in Broward. How am I going to protect the kid in New York? And even though I'm in Florida, Miami's not too far away, but if something happened, I'm not there. So one of my things as a father is I wanted to make sure that all my kids, were in one household. Now, the reason he said, well, Pete Davidson is a druggie. And from evidence and from things that from Pete Davidson's past, I agree. Pete Davidson has had issues with drugs. It's recorded. It's recorded. I've always felt like this guy was super, super, super talented, but man, he's a drug head. Like, he's a druggie. And he was never going to get it together. I felt like he was at a moment, he was in rehab every month or something like that, or every 3 months. There was always an issue with this guy. Although it's always been an issue with Kanye as well. But Pete doesn't have kids. Kanye West does. And also, he said, well, I don't want, her to be involved with Pete, and then Pete gets her hooked on drugs, and now the mother of his kids are hooked on drugs. And those are serious concerns. Those are really serious concerns that I agree with. Like, no one wants to have their mother of their children as a drug head. You can't count on them. And Kim Kardashian is rich, so she can afford the drugs. I mean, she could have hella drugs. Now, her kids are going to be around the drugs, right? Because what if Kanye West doesn't get them in time? The judge, the family courts and all this, laws and regulations, you can't just really take the kid. The courts have to grant you access to the kids, and it could take like months on end. So while they're going through that traumatic experience of watching their mom gobble up drugs and get high and do crazy stuff, who knows if she might not do crazy things to them? Maybe do crazy things for them and change the outlook of these 4 innocent children's lives for the rest of their lives. I mean, just completely change them from being innocent children to, kids of druggies, This is a serious concern as a parent. From a man from the outside looking in, women get power and custodial discrepancies or any kind of fights or whatever. Normally the women are the ones that win. And having your kids go through that, I don't think any father wants to go through this. And especially especially knowing that the guy that she's dealing with deals with these issues. Like, is he gonna change? Is he not gonna do drugs around her? And you kind of feel sorry for Pete Davidson too, because you realize that he's been through some things as well. His father actually died during 9/11. He was one of the firefighters that ran up into the building, the burning building, and they never found the guy. So, he's been dealing with that and stuff like that. So that brought him some depression. I think to the point where when he was in high school or a little while after that, he wanted to kill himself. And, you said that music was the actual influence in him not killing himself. So you have a guy that's, has some kind of instabilities and stuff, similar to Kanye. But I haven't heard anything about Kanye West using any drugs. People just say, well, he's crazy. He needs to be on. People say he needs to be on drugs. They don't say, well, Kanye's acting this crazy because he's on drugs. But so he has a history of being suicidal. He has a history of taking drugs, and he is a comedian, and he made a bad joke about kids. And from a guy that has kids with the woman that he is dating, where he made jokes about kids. Right? I don't know if I could trust that. Man. My kids with this guy made jokes about kids. It's my kids. And then, he lashed back at Kanye West, but he did kind of, I caught it. I was like, man, did he take a dig at Kim? Like, he wasn't supposed to do that. That's not, guy like that, whatever issue, I know she's involved, you have her, you got to make sure you with her now, so you're supposed to make sure that you have her best interest. Where are you now? I'm in your ex-wife's bed. I'm in your ex-wife's bed. What? Like, what? Why would you say that? Like, you're her boyfriend. Like, why you? Like, I'm in your ex-wife's bed. That's like, yeah, I don't care about. I'm here. What? I'm in the bed that you bought. I'm in your bed that you bought. So, he kind of took a dig at her. And, I don't know if she, called that out or whatever. But, these are serious concerns, man. And I could understand. Coming from, from having kids of my own, I could understand where, he's going crazy. Like, I wonder, if my wife or anything like that, all of a sudden started dating some guy that was a drug dealer or a druggie, would have concerns as well. I don't know if I would have went about it like him. Maybe he doesn't know how to go about it, but hey, I would have questioned this myself. But anyway, that's me. Like, subscribe. Let me know if I'm on the wrong page here. Let me know if you think Kanye West is batcat crazy and it doesn't matter what Kim does. She could be with any kind of druggy gangster, whatever she wants. Let me know how you feel about this. Subscribe, do all that, like, share. Until I get another topic. Peace.